Hello, welcome back to the Stepping Bricks YouTube channel. My name is Dr. Giuseppe Palladini. Now today we're going to talk about due diligence, and due diligence is extremely vital for any business. We're going to talk about two types of due diligence. One is when you invest in property, and two is who you invest in property with. So due diligence is a vital part of any business. It can ensure you're not making mistakes which are costly for your business and you're making money. So remember, there's no point in making money if you're going to pay all this money for the mistakes. So if you can avoid these mistakes and listen carefully, you can make a lot more money and you can retain a lot more money as well. So number one of the due diligence tips is, if you are buying a property, make sure you read the report of the property. If you are in Scotland, we have a home report for a property that is for sale. If you are in England, in Wales, Northern Ireland, you have a valuation report. So whatever report you have, remember to read it. And if you're buying an auction, you have a legal pack, so you need to do your due diligence on the legal pack. But do not read it yourself, please. Use professionals. So give it to your solicitor and they can review the legal pack for you. Now, if you are investing with someone else because you want to do a joint venture, JV, then I would say please do due diligence on the person you're investing with. And I don't mean just the person, but also I mean the limited companies that this person have opened over the years. Some people open so many limited companies and then they close them down. Probably the deals went bad. I don't know the situation, but you need to research on Companies House. There are so many websites now you can research about a specific person, a specific director of a company. So if you know the person, of course it helps, but if he's somebody that just contacted you via internet, I would say be careful. So do your own research. Search for social proof of other people, reviews, people that have done business with these people, with this person or this director or with this limited company. And then if you feel comfortable, start small and then you can probably do a bigger deal next time. But do not just give away all your money because you want to JV with someone, just for the sake of not doing it on your own. So due diligence on the person is quite important. Then let's say you are buying a property, then you need to do your market research on the property. For example, if you use portals like Rightmove, Zoopla and others, then you can read the descriptions from the estate agents. Then you can see the floor plan. If, for example, let's say the floor plan gives you an idea on how much space you have in the property, and if you can as well add value to the property. You can probably reshuffle, rearrange the floor plan, move the kitchen, move the bedroom, move the bathroom, or things like that. And then sometimes you can understand as well if you have space in the garden where you can add an extension. That will increase the value massively on the property you buy. So if you are creative and you have an experienced eye on how you can increase the value of one property, then by doing the due diligence in advance, I call it the work before the work, then you can save a lot of money, but you can make a lot more money down the line once you secure the deal. On due diligence as well, you have to inspect the property. I keep saying this, go and view the property. Do not just have a look at the pictures. Don't just have a look at a paperwork, a report. You need to go and view the property. First of all, you have a feel on the area. If your property is beautiful inside, but then you hear gunshots next door, then probably it's not a good idea to buy a property in that area. So yes, have a walk around, go in 2 different times of the day, one in the morning, one in the evening, because you can have different feels for the area. Not only that, but once you view the property, there are so many things that are not in the report, in the valuation report or the home report. I've mentioned this in another video. Once you go in, there is mold, there is damp, there is the electrical rewiring that probably needs to be done. Look at the consumer unit, look at the boiler, look at the tiles outside, just walk outside. step back a little bit, take some pictures of the roof, see if there is any tile missings or stuff like that. All these things are not considered in the valuation of the property. So you're probably guessing that you're getting a good deal, but in reality, once you get it and there are so many expenses that you need to face, then the deal is not going to be a good deal anymore. So remember to inspect the property if you can. If you have good relationship with builders, for example, and you know you're going to do a lot of projects with them, then what you can do, you can bring a builder with you at the viewing. Now, of course, please value the time of the people working with you, because you cannot take the builder for every single viewing you do. So do the work before they work. Understand if a property is negotiable on the price, if it's a good deal on paper, then go and have a viewing with the builder once you know that this is the property you're going to buy. The builder can give you an insights on, if you're not experienced, on the cost of the refurb, on how you can add value to the property, and you already have a quotation. The good thing about the builder is he or she is going to get the job and you can work together for long term. Of course, it's not as easy as it sounds. You need to find the right people to work with you, because it's not just about the builders, it's also about yourself. So how you can match with these people, okay? Another step, I would say, is analyze the local property trend, okay? Look at the market, see if there are any developments in the area, see if, for example, there was a viewing that was doing, the property was super cheap, were like £27,000 or something like that, were 3-bedroom flats. And there were a lot for sale in the same street, and I was surprised. Then I found out that the council was planning to demolish all the buildings that were just on the back garden of these properties. So that means that for at least 7-8 years, there would be like a work in progress area, and you couldn't rent the property for that amount of times. Imagine. So if you have a look at the council websites, they have some planning projects, or if you can't find them on the website, give them a call and ask them about the area. So when I gave the call to the council about these specific properties, they said, if I were you, I wouldn't buy that area, because we're planning big jobs, big works, and it's going to be, you know, a mess for many years. You're not going to rent it. So thanks God, I didn't buy these properties. Yes, they were cheap, but on paper they were cheap. In reality, they were going to cost me a lot more money, and with no returns whatsoever. Because let's face it, if you're targeting these kind of properties below £40,000, I would say even below 50 or sometimes 60, then it's very hard to get lending on these properties, because they have most lenders, they have a minimum threshold on lending. Let's say you buy via bridging. Of course, bridging is going to cost you a lot more. So bridging, it says the word, it's a bridge from the moment you buy to the moment you remortgage with a normal lender. So it's going to be a lot more expensive, and if that bridge is longer than it should be, it's going to cost you a lot of money. So avoid this mistake. Do your due diligence on this matter. If you don't have a deal analyzer, please get one. Based on your deal analysis, you need to understand if the property is a good deal or not. So if the return on investment on the property is healthy. Now, I want to point this out, because a lot of training companies talk about return on investment, ROI, but they forget to say that ROI is not the only metrics when you buy a property. Do not focus just on the percentage of the ROI. Of course, if you have a over 20-30% ROI, that's a perfect deal. We always target above 17-18% ROI, but it's not the only metrics that we use. We also use yield, and we don't buy anything that is below 10% yield. Obviously, if you're in London, we're talking about 2-3%, but outside London, you can definitely get 10-12% yield, okay, as a minimum. If you're happy with 6 or 7%, don't get me wrong, go ahead, because you want to invest in your area, you don't want to go somewhere else, that's fine. But if you are a professional property investor and not a landlord, okay, which is a big difference. If you're a professional property investor, then you're going to look for deals outside of your area as long as they make you money. If you're a landlord, you want to be you want to stay local because in case something happens. And then, of course, you created for yourself a second job, which is the opposite of everybody they want to get in property, doing property investment because they want to get out of their job. They don't want to create another job. Passive income is a different topic that we can cover in another time, but just remember there is a difference between being a landlord and a professional property investor. Another thing I would say is always consult with professionals. Do you remember I said to you, do your due diligence, bring your own surveyor or builder to the property to view the property with you? Well, it's the same things when you leverage your skills to somebody else that is more experienced than you. I would say do the same with property professionals. And these are accountants, these are solicitors, these are mortgage brokers, insurance brokers. There are so many. Some people call it power team. You can call it the superhero team or whatever you want. That's up to you. We do have our own power team. We do have our own list of trusted partners that we work with and that we recommend within our Stepping Bricks club and academy. But what I will always say to you is build your own team, because if you feel good working with these people, they can take your business to a completely different level. And when I talk about the power team, I'm not talking about just this property professional I mentioned before. I also talk about get a mentor, okay? Get a mentor that can take the business from point A to point B, to where you want to be. So don't focus too much on the cost of the tool to dig for gold, because if the end result is getting a lot of gold, then buy that tool, okay? Don't be afraid. You wouldn't dig by bare hands, would you? So why would you always focus on the cost of the tool rather than it's an investment, it's going to give me a lot better return? So I always say, do your due diligence as well on the property mentors. There are so many out there, and so many, unfortunately, don't have experience in property. So if you're planning to do flips, for example, if you're planning to do the buy, refurbish, and refinance strategy, the BRR, then I would say get somebody that have done a lot of projects. In our portfolio, for example, we've done over 30 refurb projects, so we know what we're talking about, okay? So it's always important for you to do your due diligence on the people you're working with, your mentors, your professionals, the property, the estate agencies, and anything that is out with your expertise and knowledge. I hope this video has been useful as well, and it's going to save you a lot of money in avoiding mistakes. Then if it did, then subscribe and comment below and tell me what other due diligence questions you have for me so I can answer them in the next video. My name is Dr. Giuseppe Paladini. I'm the founder of Stepping Bricks, and I'll see you in the next video.